Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be creating this look for you guys, and it is a look that I wore, I think it was this past weekend, to the Tarte launch party for their newest mascara. So a lot of the products I'm currently wearing are Tarte products, the lippy paint, the Tartelette in Bloom, and of course the new mascara, which is the Tarteist Mascara. I'm still not sure how to pronounce it. And just look at the packaging of this bottle. It is so pretty. The gold accents just kind of make this mascara, along with how great of a formula it is. It's definitely a very volumizing mascara, but without the clumpiness and chunky look that you would get from other volumizing mascaras, and I think it has a lot to do with the applicator. This mascara does have one of those plastic applicators and the plastic bristles, so it really combs through your lashes. It combs the product through each individual lash, giving you a much more sleek and refined look versus a clumpy or chunky look. So I definitely recommend this mascara if you guys haven't checked it out yet. It's definitely worth purchasing. It's so good, I even decided to skip the false lashes for this look. So if you're interested and want to see how I created it, keep on watching. Alright guys, I'm going to jump right into it by priming my eyes with the Urban Decay Eyeshadow Primer Potion in the shade Enigma. This stuff is seriously amazing. I don't know what I did without it before, and not to mention, when you purchase this primer, it all goes to a good cause. Using a skin-toned loose powder, I'm going to be setting that primer just from the brow bone down to the crease to help with blending, but you don't want to apply it to the lid because that could diffuse the color of the eyeshadows. I'm going to be using the Tartelette in Bloom palette, and the first color I'm picking up is Smarty Pants. It's a perfect transition color for the rest of the shadows we're going to be using, and I'm just applying it to the crease with a Smith 230 brush. Next up, I'm picking up Rebel, and I'm using that exact same brush to deepen the color on the crease. Before going in with any more color, I'm going to diffuse these two shadows together using a Sigma E40 brush. Again, using that same Smith 230 brush, I'm applying the color Leader just to the outer V of the eye. This is going to add a really nice dimension to this eye look. And again, I'm going in with that Sigma E40 brush to blend out the edges, and I'm also going to feather in that darker shadow that I just applied towards that area that currently has no shadow on it. Finally, I'm picking up this beautiful bronzy shade called Firecracker, and I'm going to spritz it with Makeup Forever's Mist and Fix first before packing it onto the lid to make sure it's super intense. And I'm using a Luxie 213 brush. I freaking love this brush for packing on eyeshadow. I don't know what it is about it, it just works really, really well. And again, I'm going back in and blending everything out. The key to every eye look that I ever do, or any sort of smoky eye, is a ton of blending. And I'm going to leave the eyes here for now and move on to the complexion. I'm going to start by priming my skin using the DiorSkin Airflash CC Primer. I mentioned in a previous tutorial that this was a new product for me and I was just trying it out, and I've actually really fallen in love with it. It has a really nice cooling effect, and it also really brightens the skin, so I'm just applying it with a beauty blender versus spraying it directly to my face. And then I'm also going to be using the DiorSkin Forever Foundation. I'm applying it first with my fingers, so that way my beauty blender doesn't absorb a majority of this expensive ass foundation, and then I'll go back in with the beauty blender to blend it out and make it look really smooth and blended. And to conceal and highlight, I'm going to be using my Tarte Maracuja Creaseless Concealer. I'm going to be warming it up on the back of my hand first. I always do this with products that are a little on the thicker side, just to warm it up and break it down, and then I apply it to my skin and blend it out with a beauty blender. I'm going to be setting the area underneath my eyes with the Laura Mercier translucent powder and a beauty blender. The beauty blender really gets in underneath the eye to prevent any creasing, but for the rest of the face, I'm going to be using a large kabuki brush. I recently started doing this and I like the finish a lot better versus the beauty blender. To contour and bronze up my skin, I'm going to be using the Makeup Forever Pro Bronze Fusion in the shade 20M and a Smith 118 brush. And now I'm going to go in and cut that cheekbone, just give it a really chiseled look. I also just recently started doing this and really fell in love with it, especially because I don't really contour, I just use my bronzer to contour and bronze. So by doing this, I'm just giving the appearance of a more chiseled cheekbone, and then I'm using that same brush and bronzer to blend it out and also dust off that powder. And of course, you can't forget to apply a little bronzer to the sides of the nose. I'm using a Smith 232 brush. For a highlight, I didn't want anything too strong, especially because I have a breakout right where I would normally place my highlight. So I'm using the Kevyn Aucoin Celestial Powder. It's a lot softer, and I'm just going to work around the breakout. When you apply a highlight to areas that have texture like a breakout, like the one you're seeing on my cheek, it just accentuates it more. So to avoid that, I'm just going around that area, and then I'm going to apply that highlighter to the other high points of my face. I'm also going to be keeping my blush matte just in case it gets on that blemish. I'm going to be using the Tarte 12-Hour Blush in the shade Exposed, and I'm applying it with that same Smith 118 brush. And with a large powder brush, I'm just softly blending across the entire face to make sure that the bronzer, blush, and highlight all look really seamless on the skin. Now I can go back and finish the eyes. I'm going to start off by applying Smarty Pants to the lower lash line using a Sigma E45 brush. I'm basically going to be repeating the exact same shadows that are on the crease to the lower lash line. So next I'm going in with Rebel, and I'm going to use a really tiny precision brush. I'm not even sure if this is an eyeshadow brush. It kind of looks like a lip brush. It's the Morphe M213 brush, and I'm going to push that color up really close to the lash line. And I'm going to be doing the same thing with Leader, except I'm going to focus this color more towards the outer V of the lower lash line and also bring it back up to connect it to the crease. Once that's all done, I'm just going to grab that same Sigma E45 brush and blend everything out. I'm going to be tightlining with the new Tarte eyeliner. This eyeliner is really good. It's really black and it stays put on the upper waterline. I didn't have a problem with it transferring to the lower waterline because I didn't want any eyeliner on the lower waterline. And now I'm finally going in with their new mascara, and I'm going to show you guys a before and after so you guys can see how amazing the mascara is. And here you guys go. On the left side, I have the mascara on. You can see it just added a ton of volume to my lashes. So I'm going to go ahead and apply it to the other side. I'm also going to be applying my Anastasia Clear Brow Gel to set my brows in place as the finishing step to this eye look. I'm going to outline my lips with the Urban Decay 24/7 Glide On Lip Pencil. This one's from the Gwen Stefani collection in the shade Phone Call. And I'm going to be filling in my lips with the Tarte Lippy Paint in the shade Twerk. Alright guys, that completes this tutorial. If you enjoyed it, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and of course subscribe so I see you in the next one. Bye guys.